We are streaming and live. I will check that we are fully operating. It is a Friday night. I am off work. I've got a resin kit to attend to. Gunpla Builders Australia. Fuck yeah. What kind of man? Are we live? Are we live? We're not live. Might have to give a couple of seconds for the internet to catch up with the stream. And once we're good, I'm going to show some of the awesome shit that we've got on the go. So, no post available. What kind of man? And how to build anime resin kit. Fuck, wrong title. Who gives a shit? Good enough for me. While we're waiting, I went in my filing cabinet and found like a series of alcohol. It says Malibu, but it's brown. That cannot be good. Fuck you, ad. Shut the fuck up. There we go. And I remember that shit. With this crap that I found, it's cucumber flavored. And we have our E2046 kit. So, done a shit ton in the last 6 or so videos. We've cleaned them all in detergent. We all sanded the fuck out of them. It's this chick. I've got the reference materials from the last few sessions. The glare is a fucking pain in my asshole. We've got the parts breakdown. And we have the instructions. So lowering our screen, and I warn you, I'm not wearing pants, so if I do stand up, you are going to see shit that you may not desire. I sincerely hope this doesn't kill me from being absolutely ancient alcohol. Fuck it, who cares? Blades are good for something. Pass the sniff test. Fuck, that's disgusting. It's free at least. So we are going to continue where we left off. I remember we've done these two pieces, so we're going to do the other two pieces. We'll give them a bit of a sanding, and then we shall fuck them. No, we're not going to fuck them. We shall do some sanding, and then we are going to leave them and just keep cleaning fucking pieces. Literally everything on my board here needs to be cleaned. And we go to pinning, which is pretty fucking awesome. So that aside, I've got some sandpaper on the side, 2000 grit, 300 something grit, and 180 grit. 180 grit is for removing nubs, 300 grit is for total surface coverage or sandage, and the 2000 grit is for polish. Now, because resin is a carcinogen, it fucks your shit up. It turns your urethra purple. It's not very fucking good for you. I have a tub of water. It's Jesus water. It's holy water. It's the water of the fucking gods. This water is going to protect me because you see, it's going to be wet. And when shit's wet, you don't have dust. And if you don't have dust, it doesn't go in your lungs. And if it doesn't go in your lungs, you don't fucking die. And I will live forever. Or as long as until, like, you know, Slumber Chunder 2.0, eh? So I'm gonna sand all this fucking shit up, polish, go through the whole tedious process. I thought it would be exciting, it would be interesting, build an anime on camera, they said. It would be fun, they said. It's something that no one's ever fucking seen before, they said. And realistically, there's just a fat drunk cunt just sanding about 200 fucking parts, well, it's about 80 parts, over a period of 8 hours so far, and we're only halfway done nub removing and sanding. Jesus fucking Christ. I remember that cunt offering $20 for number removal. Should have that boy over here doing all the work, and I could be like riding his ass or something. Fucking sounds like a good night. Get a slab of beer, pack of Winnie Blues. Get some ladies over. Watch some cunt fucking sand resin. Yeah, we're all getting laid after that, aren't we? Tristan! Yay! Your tits out, cunt. Tits out. You want my tits out? It's fucking, yay, tits out. There's your tits. I do warn you, shit will happen. So, tits out for the boys. The tits came out. I could also have the tits of the resin kit too, but that's nowhere near as exciting, interesting, or fun. Fuck. I need to tell a story. Who's got an idea for a story? Story time with Al. Let's go with the second time I went to Japan. I had a party at my father's place. And, well, I had a party at my father's place, and I brought a lot of my good friends over. And I was going to leave like 2 days' time, and I think it was very close to my birthday or some shit. So we had like a bucket load of booze. And funnily enough, I was on this exact bottle for the night. So there you go. Had a mate named Goo, and he had a mate named Damien. And Damien worked at a pizza parlor, and he didn't really do much. He just hung out on fucking 4chan. This is awesome, great idea, good to see the Twitch thing happens after we spoke about it. Indeed. Now, I'm being quite dodgy. I'm just pushing the laptop screen down so I can see what I'm doing. I've bought a fucking whiz-bang webcam, and I'm going to rig it onto this lamp. It's going to hover over my work so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. The second webcam will be a small corner screen of, or small window on the screen, and that's going to show my fucking lovely noggin and expression. The audio, the video, everything will be better, and I'll have my good laptop available for that fairly shortly. So that could be a very cool and interesting concept. Back to my story. So, well, I'm old man's place. My brother was there, tons of people, big bonfire, and we're just drinking and eating like absolute lords. One guy, Damien, friend of my mate's, Goo, doesn't party a lot, likes to stay home, deliver pizzas, go on 4chan, he's into the whole lolly anime bullshit, whatever. Virgin, never touched a girl, never had his pee-pee touch. But he's just like this tall dude that looked like a guy I knew named Jeremy from work. They were both fucking doppelgangers. I gave this guy a terrible bottle of vodka. Well, it was half a bottle of vodka that I would not even fucking touch. Smirnoff or some disgusting shit like that. He fucking downed that bottle in 2 to 3 hours, and he was just absolutely gunted. We stripped down completely naked and put on my mate Amal's iconic straw hat and was strumming a guitar and fucking around. For some reason, some guy got a webcam out or a camera and filmed him jacking it off on my old man's couch, all laughing around the fire. He puts his dick in my mate's hat, proceeds to fuck it, and we throw it in the fire, and he's been ever salty about that ever since. He suddenly got sick and the urge to chunder everything that he's got in him. He goes up against the fence of my old man's place, chunders, and passes out, or he's just there, just gasping for air for absolute hours as we just laughed off and keep drinking. My old man came home, wasn't too impressed, and left again. I think he was having a dirty weekend with his girlfriend or something. My brother rocked around, had a bit to drink, and fired a fucking flare at him. Like a fucking rocket flare. Just blasted the cunt, like naked, dick out. Blasted a flare at him as he was drunk, as he was vomiting. This dude had a terrible fucking night. I just feel fucking bad for him after that day. 3 months after that party, he cleaned himself up, got a better job, got a fucking wife, married, everything. It's just absolutely insane what can happen when you're naked, vomiting from vodka, and having a fucking flare gun shot at you. There's also another guy that a lot of us knows, Trung. He has the Burning Love car with the fucking anime decals and whatever all over it. My brother also pinched his car and left when he was still sober, and left one of his flares in there, and that got passed around. We all freaked out and found out later as a boat flare, and they're actually perfectly legal to operate and own and all that. So, good fun, good times had by all. We've got another guy, Gun Plaque, and he has a picture of, I don't know, some dickhead with a parted line, parted hair. How you going, cunt? How's it going? We're still working on our resin anime kit, and it is just a terrible, 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 tedious process of constantly sanding and cleaning and washing and just getting the texture and tone right, washing the release agent from the molding process, removing all the nubs from the ability to have a spout to pour resin into the hole. It's casted by E2046. This kit is particularly a bloody good cast. There's no bubble holes or nothing like that, and fit seems to be absolutely spot on, but it is a fairly early cast of the kit. Jesus fucking Christ, that flew across the room. God damn it, Alan, it's Gunpla KT. Fuck. I missed the K. Well, yeah, Gunplat now, right? Gunplat. Good enough. That's my nickname for you, buddy. Everyone go watch Gunplat's stream and videos. He's a top bloke. I remember you're the channel, so I know who you are. You had like a Strike Freedom or something on the Dunny, is that right? I remember a video a long time ago, and either you had something to do with a toilet and you were flushing it and showing which way it revolved, but that could have been anyone's channel. And there was another video where you had a Strike Freedom on the seat of a toilet. That was very, very memorable. I don't remember a lot of things, but I remember that, and I hope it was your channel. That was absolutely hilarious. Fuck, that was awesome. Toilets and Strike Freedoms and whatnot. Somewhat appropriate. Someone needs to do that for the Gunpla Builders Australia group build. Fuck, I'm going to do that. No way, my toilet's broken. It's kind of got the back in parts. That would be embarrassing. But I need to go to someone's house and take a photo of my Gundam kit on their toilet. That's going to be glorious. Or I could do it at work, because we've got some pretty stellar toilets with sandstone walls and bloody mahogany doors and polished chrome and Italian porcelain for the seat and whatnot, man. Dude, you'll never find as stellar toilets as you would at Crown Casino. Top stuff. So I've removed the nub. We've got our component, and it's got the connection point to fit in one of these legs, and it's obviously not that one. It's probably not that one either, so it's probably the original one, and I put it in the wrong direction because I'm a cunt. Fuck, get in there. Get in there. Ah. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. So it fits in there good. So I'm doing a bloody good job cleaning it, so it's got space for glue and all that shit when it's glued in. Due to how solid it is, a pin's probably not required. But we're just carrying along and stroking it. It's not a dry rub. Dry rub on resin, it's bad. It's Kirby. It's what he does. When you do resin, you need to do a wet rub. You need to get some good lube, water, rub it good. The resin doesn't come out. You don't breathe it in. That's your gang banging days over. You get emphysema or some sort of shit in your lungs. Not so much fun whatsoever. But boys, thanks for coming on the stream. Gives us a few views, a few support. We'll show these cunts on this Twitch TV stream how to, rock out with our cocks out. Show them the Aussie way, the Gunpla Builders Australia way. In fact, we don't give a fuck and we're just going to get out there and just get shit done. So, fucking stellar. Fucking beautiful. The detail's really, really good. It's a lovely weed figure. We're going to sand down the surface. The flat areas we'll hit it with 1/12 size kits. I don't know. I think it's a bit small for 1/12. I think it might be 1/7 or 1/8 or something. 1/12. If we go for the hips and the torso, like just the torso alone is almost the whole size of a 1/12 figure. I don't have any 1/12 figures here, but I assume it's 1/7, 1/8. It's very big. It's very expensive, but E2046 gave it to me for free, in hopes that I'll make a tutorial and people will learn how to make their products and shit. So got free stuff, man. Free stuff is awesome. Can't say no to free shit. They showed me updating figures. Most of them were meh. One of them was Lady Kawaguchi, and they said this one had a high parts count because it was hard, where the other ones had a low parts count, and there was lots of masking around the clothing and the hair, and bits of one of them was in a bathing suit, so it have to be flesh bathing suits, some others decor and whatnot, lots of masking. Bit hard to paint, easy to assemble. This one is tricky to assemble, easy to paint, but assembly is generally a lot easier. Yeah, agree. Seeing the torso, 1/8 sounds absolutely right. Great detail from what I can see. Fucking awesome pair of tits too. When I was looking at it a few videos ago, and I was just having a look at the laced panties, that we've got pretty much a few microns sticking out with all sorts of rad detail and dimples in the back and the spine and whatnot. And then the fact that we're going to chuck a skirt on it. And it's just going to be all hidden, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm not going for the whole sexy thing with this project. It's going to be more modest warrior samurai thing based off the colours of my LARP group. You can't do sexy and nude and tits out all the time as much as, we want tits out all the time. And mind you, the tits are awesome, but the nipples are just slightly placed strangely, and it sort of looks like it's got an invisible bra. There's no saggage. It's just ultra perky, yet ultra big. That rubs me up in a strange way. Also rubs me down pretty good. We shall grind down the chest so the chest plate can fit on. The idea of the posing and presentation of the figure is to have the chest plate popping out. She's got her Under Armour and clothing and kit and whatnot, and her tits are just bouncing out for glory and awesome sakeness. I want her to have her chest plate well and truly on, and her probably holding an item or something in the way of... We're going for this. The way of the colour scheme, I'm going to be pretty much swapping the red for yellow. Very imperialistic, very royal. very interesting, very nice. And it's pretty much the colour of the kit that I have and the warband that I roll with, a tartan skirt. And that's just going to absolutely rock, stand out, and be interesting. Drink. Good stuff. Still disgusting though. I got to stop drinking random shit that I find in my filing cabinet. Before anyone thinks I'm just going to sit here and just get absolutely blottoed playing with resin, you're probably going to be disappointed greatly. That's not going to happen. I'm just going to just have a few drinks and get a buzz on, which will probably amuse me with amusing enough stories to tell and entertain the fuck out of you guys, as well as possibly not getting bored sanding the fuck out of every inch of this fucking kit. Hopefully, because I want to be at this probably until midnight or something. I might have to take a few breaks. What I'm hoping to achieve is to start pinning tonight. And then that way, in a couple of weeks' time, we will get some paint on her and move her aside. But still thoroughly enjoying working with it. And with a couple of resin kits under the belt, there's no anxieties and no worries or stresses. It's something that can be pulled off. And going for almost anything that's on the range that isn't just super mega uber masking related, or one of those terrible porcelain casts from Thailand, where you're just sanding and cutting and drilling and whatever. It should come out alright. For you guys, I will show you something because I finished this part. I've been working on this B Club spaceship, and about a month ago I I sprayed it primer, and there's all these blotches and fish eyes all over it. I did not wash this piece properly, and then I primed it. I used Super Cheap Auto Primer, and Super Cheap Auto Primer seems to really, really like resin, so a lot of my resin projects are going to get the treatments of that primer. And even with like release agent and whatnot, it's just showed these dots. I've given it a healthy dose of a few days soaking in bleach. I could probably leave that out of the water now. It stripped a lot of the weak primer away. I'm going to sand it down a bit with 320 grit sandpaper and 2000 grit sandpaper. Prime her again. And if everything works out quite nice tomorrow, I will airbrush her and probably have a finished model by next week. It's just a very quickie project. I probably spent a total of 3-4 hours cleaning it and assembling it, to the reason why I came in the problem of the fucking fish eyes, which shits me off no belief. But when you're lazy and you fuck around, you get fucked, and I got fucked. Continuing to work on the legs. E2046 does have very lovely soft resin. It's easy to cut and carve into and sand. I find a higher quality resin and some of the original kits would have more of a brittle and harder resin, and it has a tendency of cracking and cutting. With a soft resin, it is forgiving with mistakes and whatnot. It's the reason why I do like to suggest it for beginners. Soft resin gives soft detail, and it looks pretty good in figures and whatnot. Harder resins, it doesn't give you that, hard edge for, some of your 1144, 1100 mecha kits and Gundams and V-Fins and the sharp faces and like an RX-78 face or hand or whatever. It will generally be a bit softer, and you put the two together, and if you put an expert modeling both of them, you'll see the difference in sharpness. There is a significant difference in price, especially if there's a lot of sanding. Generally, you want a harder resin for your mecha stuff unless you go for a mecha that has a lot of round surfaces like a Zaku or a Gelgoog, and if you're that inclined, again, soft resin's okay. So if you're a big Gundam fan, lots of sharp edges, E2046 might not be your cup of tea, look for original shit. Anything that's round and soft, E2046 all the way. Some of the people in the mecha community do really hack into E2046 and maybe give them a bit of an unfair go. They may deserve it, they may not deserve it, I don't know. They're kits that I don't attempt. Though they're probably looking at really, really old C3 releases and castings and kits and whatnot, and those can be all sorts of problems. Sometimes the engineering of the kit cannot be blamed on the caster, but the original sculptor, or the caster can make sure is a lack of warpage or a lack of breakage, good packaging to prevent damage, as well as lack of air bubbles. If there's no air bubbles and the detail's nice and crisp and whatnot, and you're not seeing massive mold lines or flash marks, you've pretty much got a winner. And that's as little as I can ask for because the work has been lessened. If they do say they remove release agent, would not believe them for a second. And my little B Club spaceship is absolute testament and evidence of fucking fisheye. As always, I'll put that up. So I've got the second thigh and sanding all the flat bits like a fucking champion with the 320 grit. Getting it down to be nice and smooth. Any dry release agent. If release agent is dry, paint will stick on it, primer will stick on it, but if you touch it, handle it, mask it, slide it, whatever, it's not a good bond and it will lift or chip or something. So the sanding gives you a hope of getting rid of it if it is there or not there. You also can't rely off grease because you don't know what has been used as a release agent. You can't rely off just the lacquer primer or lacquer paint to remove it because sometimes with grease and oils in your skins and whatnot, you handle a styrene piece or Gundam or whatever. Uh, no lubricants required because when it's injection molded and it starts to cool, it shrinks and it just pops out of the mold beautifully because it's a heat process. And whatever could be on the surface of polystyrene, high packing styrene, ABS, any of that shit, is probably the crap on your fingers. If you're eating fucking McNuggets or KFC and building Gunpla and you're finding your shit's not sticking to your plastic or your paint's not sticking to anything, wash your hands, you grody cunt. It's a bit nasty, a bit gross, a bit off-putting. Might stop for a sit break. I think I've cut my finger. That's okay. Rum. Fucking glorious. Have a quick look at operations. Fucking 5 viewers. Absolutely stellar, man. That's it's breaking grounds. It's breaking grounds in the Makana Man universe. We're getting there, cunts. We're getting there. Gonna fucking climb. We'll be the #1 Twitch stream on Twitch. Fuck video games, man. Modeling and Gunpla all the way. I hope you guys are modeling along as well, man. That'd be pretty interesting. That'd be pretty fun. With this thigh done, quick test, and it fits in quite in a stellar, beautiful manner. Get to see the little laminar armor pieces, and we get a bit of a gold band with leather strapping around the thigh. But there's nothing on the bottom bit, so that's either really tight and it just flaps in the wind from the brace there, or it's just a large bit of leather attached to the clothing. I don't know. got some sort of clothing and cloth. Shouldn't be too hard to paint. So, oh fuck, I forgot my camera. I will clean these two pieces and we'll have to split and disappear for 2-3 minutes to achieve this fucking camera or get this fucking camera. And they've really put in a ton of detail with this kit because I'm just looking at the armor and they're not straight. There's just different plates going in different directions and there's a tiny bit of a gap there, like, you know, it just happens to be articulated that way. And there's a bit of resin in between, so we'll just get rid of that spider webbing or connecting or fuzziness of shit separating from the, yep, sanding down 1/72 Lagdoll from Gavilon. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I am sure to look at your update pictures fairly shortly. Chuck shit in the chat so I'm not grasping in the air for random shit to talk at, and I can definitely entertain. And hope your kids aren't around because this is this isn't exactly PG, but it's definitely clicked upon. It's 8:30 p.m. Kids should be in bed by now, so I think it's safe. It's got to be safe. This is a pain in my ass. Yeah, it is very, very, very obscure. Good to see you still hanging around, Gunpla KT. We'll post it on Facebook. Fuck yeah. Lol, no, they're in bed. Yeah, they should be. I sometimes don't pay attention to what time it is being a shift worker. When the kids are out and about, I'm normally in bed because, you know, daylight sucks. That all said and done, I've got a ginormous fucking nub, big L shape. I don't want to use a saw, it's too small. I don't want to use a grinder, so I'm just going to chip at it for a while. By the way, Gunpla KT, what are you working on? What are you building, mate? Or are you just choking it? That's cool too. I've rubbed one out before I went on air, you know. Too many Twitch people do it on air, they get banned. I don't want to get banned. Gonna go and Spankwire and do that later, man. Public show. Woo! Fuck. So, the trick to fucking cutting these down is you just take off a tiny bit at a time. If you try to did your... I'm editing the video for my NT modification project. Sweet. Is that a custom or an out-of-the-box build? Being a project, I assume there's a bit more to it. And it's a custom. I've got those legs extended. That answer my questions. It's definitely a custom. Probably should scroll chat or some shit. Fuck. That's about it. Yeah, that's cool. Sometimes small changes just changes enough of it to make it look like it just feels or is a completely different project or stands out on its own from something that's just snapped. Sometimes just thinning parts and sharpening corners and whatnot with sandpaper can change a kit so much from an original. It's almost a completely different build. Well, fuck, I remember when Kawaguchi came to Australia, custom to replicate the Studio Reckless GK, but not exactly. Studio Reckless does some very cool shit, but they just thin down all sorts of parts. I do like their legs. Their legs are pretty stellar. I think I've got some of their weapons. I actually bought an original bazooka and parts for a HGUC Gelgoog that I used once. It was a bit expensive, so I got it in my expensive resin box, and I have to tempt it. Also have to acquire a Gelgoog, so I might have a Gelgoog. I don't see it, so I must have used it on something. I hope they have the Gelgoog come out soon. I'll buy like half a dozen of them and use them for shit just so fucking Varagiri doesn't get all the Gelgoogs and does this stupid fucking Kaon custom big eyebrows abomination of a project. I won't hang shit on most modelers. Fuck that guy. Fuck his Gelgoog project because is a mate before anyone thinks that I'm just hitting it on some random guy. Not a random guy, but yeah, is a fuck. Got a lot of it off. There's still a bit of material. It's still quite fuzzy, quite bumpy, quite irregular. There seems to be some sort of... No, it's not text. It looked like moonwriting or Japanese or some shit. It's just a funny way that I carved into the nub. Now the beautiful thing of 120 is we've got about a mil to a mil and a bit of shit sticking out. You don't sand too hard, you just lightly guide over and you apply a medium amount of pressure, and as it starts to go down, the pressure goes lighter and lighter, and it equally distributes the removal of material on top of the part and surrounding areas. Doesn't scratch shit up too much, but it is going to leave in some pretty deep, crazy scratches, and that's going to fuck shit up when it comes to painting. And this is why when we got most of the bullshit gone, and it's looking pretty fucking flat, we're going to move down to the next set of sandpaper and just flatten it and smooth it out even further. Tomorrow, we'll talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow I am going to the men's shed in Altona. We've got a mecha workshop meet. I want to paint this guy, my B Club ship. I might actually pull out the instructions and parts and whatnot, show that off. I want to paint him because it's a very quick, very simple project, very popular. And I'm also got an arms frames Gurai on the go, and that's in a shit ton of parts. I'm pretty much modifying the pegs and cutting it up and cleaning it up so it's easily dismantled for painting. And I also want to... There's a lot of seams, and a lot of the seams are pretty clever. They're pretty invisible. You can't see them too well. Though I want to clean them all up and just have it looking pretty nice around the flesh and armor areas. The flesh and clothing is going to be nice and clean. Generally a matte finish. The armor is going to have very light MIG and tank-like weathering and washes and whatnot. I'm going to replicate the plastic colours via paint and do super subtle shading so it's virtually not even noticeable. Then I will, call it done, I suppose. It's going to be pretty cool. I love the look of the Katabakia arms frame girls. Pretty cool, very interesting, very cute. Very fucking expensive and limited. Busts my balls trying to get my hands on them. I had to rely on fucking Hobby Link Japan of all places to get them. I lost my Ami account and it's just really hard to log on. Easy to buy, but just a pain to log on. HOJ makes it easy and it just pisses me off to buy off them. There was another source that had them, and due to the gentleman that would import them or do the parallel importing, he creeps me out. Very, very creepy. So generally I'm not going to rely off those sources. I did buy one off Tom. Tom's a fucking top bloke from Sydney. Fuck yeah. That's the one I'm working on currently. And the other ones I just jumped on because I didn't think that they'd get a re-release. I did pick up my first one. Here we go. That's about it. No, I already read that comment. Fucking idiot. Oh well, but that's me being a fucking idiot, not well, you guys can be fucking idiots too, that's alright. Lost my... Yes, I bought a Gurai, my first Gurai, in Japan, in Akihabara, when I was in my third trip. And they were still fairly fresh. I was at the Kotobukiya store, their display store, and they had the Gurai aftermarket set, and it just pretty much made a bit more lewd, a bit more nude, all that sort of shit. pic of the kits on Facebook. Thanks, Tristan. I will check the fuck out of that later. I'm not going to go on Facebook now because it's going to be a stream of Fat Cunt on Facebook. That might be a popular series. Dude laying there on his bed in his Y front, scratching his gut, drinking a beer on Facebook, laughing at memes. Like 100,000 followers and views and shit. Full-time job. That's the dream. Living the dream blue. I rub my dick on expensive shit. But that's all said and done. So yes, thank you, Tristan. Fucking everyone and their mothers in Australia at the moment is working on a resin product or project, except for Scott. Scott needs to make a resin kit because everyone else is, you know. You need to be a sheep. You need to follow. You need to obey. I'll tell him that later. It'll be quite amusing. Almost finished with the leg components. Details very cool. Love the fuck out of it. Absolutely love the fuck out of it. It's got this lovely rectangular multiple laminar pieces of armor, almost like Eastern European or Turkish armor, and then just styled in that samurai manner. They normally got very, very short shin protectors, but this one goes all the way up. It's also armored and protected all the way around, so it is a full piece of armor bit. It's going to make it pretty easy to mask and paint. Not much complaints there. There is a high heel piece. High heels on the battlefield is a bit weird. I dig it. And that fits pretty cool. Also has these protectors. Inside here. And they just stop a sword going to the back of your kneecap and fucking you up. My leg armor has something like that. It's very, very ornate and interesting, and it catches a blade, which is pretty cool. I really like that in the design. So that was the 100 and whatever 320 grit. Time for a buff and a laugh. Just give her a bit of a polish. Make her all silky smooth. Shampoo's better, no conditioner's better. Fuck that shit. Good movie. Silky smooth. And that way, primer and paint will nicely adhere to surface. I also have another resin kit on the go. I was working on this year when I was doing resin. I would go to Gundam Universe and I had monthly workshops there. Just as a troll ethics, people there snapping, a couple of people doing their Gunpla Builders World Cup entry and whatnot, and I thought, fuck that. I'm playing Secret Hitler for some reason. I'm like, I don't know what that's all about. I would bring a resin kit just to troll, and I bought the Miku for like many months, and I'd only work on it for the 5-6 hours that I was there a month, and then that was it. I just did the assembly here, and that worked out pretty cool. Then I started on a Volks kit, and it's one of the characters from Girls and Panzer, fully clothed in the show's uniform. Pre-coloured, which is pretty interesting, and just snaps together. But the mould is pretty old and worn, and it's got these really bad fitting and seam line problems, where the seams of the moulds, some resin has leaked out, or the two parts of the mould do not sandwich quite right, and the part is slightly misaligned. So those parts have to be covered in polyester putty, and sanded back royally hard. That has taken a lot of work, and it's in about probably just the same state as this kit, but it has a ton less parts and masking and whatnot. So it's a nice quickie, but there's a bit of pinstripe marking around the collar and whatnot. Also came with water slide decal eyes, so that's a nice treat. Legs done. Bung onto the next leg. Which has a lot less annoying nub to deal with. I always like to attack shit that's really antagonistic and just an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. So when I'm doing these streams and videos and whatnot, and it seems to be that I'm just working on the same part for just fucking ever, it's because I'm attacking something really challenging. One of my streams, I think, went for like 2 to 3 hours. I was just working on like 4 or 5 follicles of hair. And they were very thin, brittle, easy to snap. And I was just really, really lightly just taking off, shave millimeter a bit, shave quarter of millimeter a bit, shave quarter of millimeter a bit, sand it up a bit. And I was like, yeah. And here I've got these giant, fragile, small nubs on these giant pieces, and they just cut off with nippers. Slide off. Don't use nice nippers on resin. I use nippers on resin, but don't use really nice nippers. They will fuck your nippers up. Especially if you've got any of those super fine God hand, Ryan hand, Tamir hand, fucking Stranger hand, God, Tommy Lee Jones hand. I'm going to release my own nippers. They'll be called the Tommy Lee Jones hand. Tommy Lee Jones is pretty awesome. Or Randy Savage hands, except they'll be like nippers that are like that big, and it'll be like, what the fuck? Very, very interesting, but that will interfere with Ryan hands, and the man can bring the gun show to the party. You don't want to come across the gun show. So it's all nice and bumpy and fucked up. Got the 180 grit on it. A lot of people freak out from really, really, really coarse sandpaper, but that's only because they haven't quite experimented with pressure. With good sandpapering technique, it's not all about just the grit and the fact that if it's wet or dry or the strokes, some people just do it like that. Or they'll do some other shit. Not only that you can control the marks of the sandpaper or whatnot, or direction of the piece, you can control pressure. If you go really heavy, it's going to hit the top of whatever nub that you're sanding, and then it's going to hit the rest of the flat surface and scratch into that. And then the gap between the edge of the nub and a few microns away from that nub is going to be unscratched, and then you're going to see the scratching on top of the nub, some space, more space. If you go really light, and if you're persistent and just focus on the top of that nub and not the rest of the surface, it's just going to wear down ever so slightly slowly so you get a nice flat surface. And just before it's flat, you just work your way down the scale of grits or flat till it's polished and it's very, very, very flat. And obviously wet for sand and... not sand, what the fuck am I thinking? Dust reasons. As noticed, the YouTube channel is back up. I have posted a video about SMS Primer, which I made well before the Gunpla Builders World Cup, working on a component of my secret project, so the video could not have been released. When I was doing some editing at work, there was a brownout power spike, and I didn't bring my surge protector, and blew the fuck out of my laptop. I have a really old Toshiba satellite, and that frustrated me severely. So I looked online, and the Toshiba satellites have got very intricate motherboards with fuses and parts that just come on and off, and a power harness. And quite often during a brownout, you either blow up your power supply, which I've done that 2-3 times, or you blow up the power harness that has a transformer, or not transformer, the transformer is in the fucking big fuck off box in the power cable. A fuse. So I thought maybe I'd blew the fuse. So I looked up a tutorial on YouTube, stripped down my fucking laptop, bought a power harness, quick buy on eBay for about $3-4, installed it, still got a fucking error. Motherboard does not want to play. Fuck! So I went on eBay and thinking about, do I get more parts or do I buy a new laptop? And some fucking champion, a Cherry, fucking lifesaver, has repaired the same model laptop as my older laptop for $100 in Victoria, and I bit the bullet and bought it, which is not normally against what I normally do regarding technology on eBay, but I bought it, and it was stellar, it was new, it was tight, it was fast, it was upgraded, solid state hard drive, better RAM, brand spanking new battery. Couldn't ask for more. I messaged the guys like, what's the deal, man? $100, and there's like $250 worth of parts in here, excluding the laptop. And he says he acquires laptops from all sorts of places that don't work, that are just disregarded or thrown out or something. He repairs them and sells them for parts and a bit of a profit. And I was like, awesome. It was just clean and beautiful. It was just completely serviced. So I sent him my old laptop that he can strip the parts and use that. He said he would just fix it and return it to me. And I'm going to fuck off this piece of shit compact Dell, whatever the fuck it is. And just have two fucking really, really rip raw, powerful Toshibas running the show. And since I've got on Tuesday the laptop in the mail, just did a hard drive swap, booted up, played just as it would normally do, no problems, didn't recognize the Wi-Fi, bunged in the password, fucking awesome. So I started putting up all the pictures that I've been backlogging, event stuff, videos, whatnot, and usual content will be posted. I've got a heap of Gunpla Builder World Cup videos about the project that I showed, that big 3D printed ship. So that's on the go. So there's going to be like 2 to 3 videos a week for like the rest of September. So very, very excited for that. As well as I'm talking to some friends. I got a mate that's doing Twitch streams and all whatnot, and he's trying to become a pro on Twitch and all that. And I'm going to go visit him and hang out with him. And there's also some sort of a YouTube meeting in Melbourne. There's going to be a bunch of guys get together behind Fed Square. Some of these guys got like YouTube channels like in hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they're actual full-time and all that. And it's just some sort of like secret society on Facebook. Came across them by absolute accident. I was like, hey man, come hang out. We'll teach you some shit. I'm like, fuck yeah. See what these guys do. But talking to some of them and whatnot, being a full-time social media person, it's a lot of hard work. I'd rather just do my usual job and model. I really just don't do, fuck all. I'm just pretty lazy at work. And I just got a particular set of skills and it's just accepted. And I'm just there. I just exist. Sometimes when shit goes wrong, then I spring into action for what I've been paid for, to be, the right guy on hand to fix the right problem. And that's the story of my life. Almost finished with this leg. Going to give it a polish because everything's going with the 320 grit sandpaper. Polish her nice and good. I'm going to get the camera and we'll take a photo of her. So we've got the before and after, the before with all the gates and nubs and imperfections, and after where it's all cleaned up, to be used in a YouTube video and in the review and tutorial of the making of this. Normally I'll have half a dozen projects on the go and I just work on whatever I feel like, collect photos, archive them away so it could be started, do a bit of it, do a bit of something else, finish a project off, string the photos together, pull a video out of nowhere, and then just carry on with the next project that happens to be on the shelf. So a video sometimes can be up to 3 months in the making, and it's just shelved and put back, shelved and put back. And I've got this directory of folders that I dump photos and video footage. And when it's full, the project's done, it's had its photo shoot, that video is nominated of being done and ready to be queued to be made, and then I make it. And when I decide to do a tutorial or a review of a product or a paint or something, I use it, I film it, I click pictures and shit, put it in a folder, and when ready, it just gets sorted and bunged together. And there's normally enough content going in and out for a few hours here and there, every second or third day of the week. And you've suddenly, next thing you know, you've got like a YouTube channel going. It sounds like a lot of work, but doing it for about 6, 7, 8 years, it's just sort of like it's routine. It's almost as natural as taking out the rubbish, mowing the lawn, and fucking washing the clothes. Which sometimes those menial tasks in between rendering videos and putting shit together, which actually a lot of that's more uploading and social media shit. A lot of the video work's done at work when shit's really, 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 really fucking quiet. It just comes together, and there just happens to be, small pockets of time here and there, and it's just a bit of discipline, and YouTube channel just fucking happens. Just out of absolutely nowhere. And it's awesome. That's done. I will have to bid you adieu. I will have to disappear for a short period of time. I'm going to have to go acquire my camera. I'm not wearing pants, so forgive that when I stand up. So I'm going to disappear for a few minutes, get the shit that I need, and I'll be back to take a photo and work on the new shit. So don't disappear, go amuse yourself, or just fucking hum the Superman theme. Bastards better not be talking about me. Good. Well, I fucked up. I don't remember what sequence they were in. Well, I vaguely remember. I'll try to recreate it. Take the photo. There we go, bit of insight of the making of a video. Interesting shit. So this is the tiny box. I think it's a Zanzibar class. Giant Zeonic warship. That was the ship that I was working on. I need a bit of orange, blue, olive green, black. And to my surprise, it's B Club. Now, I saw this. I was on sale. It was for $20. That's the parts breakdown. And I had a heap of credits on E2046, and everything that I wanted to buy was all on sale. So you couldn't spend credit on stuff that was for sale. And this was on sale, clearance sale, but obviously they changed that rule. And when I went to buy it and check out, it said it's using your credit. And it did not charge me a single cent. So I got this for practically for free. I shall dry it down with some toilet paper and put it in her box. So it's absolutely for free, and that's like stellar. And the last of my credit was spent on this other figure that I pre-ordered. It's got a release date that's due pretty soon. And now I have to pay for shit again. And that's going to suck, but it is what it is. It's also got a bit of a rust. It's been sitting in water for too long. The magnet's kind of rusted, so I'm going to have to sand that off tomorrow. It's got a bit of a base. Everyone said you're not going to get that thing to sit on that base. That base is too small. It's too thin. It's going to snap. It's going to fall off. It's going to break. Fuck you, man. Magnets. Magnets, man, how do they work? And it's just a normal 10 by 1 mil rare earth magnets bought off eBay for like $6 or $12 for about 100 of them. Hole was like drilled out, and it was just super glued in, puttied around. I could go in its box ready for tomorrow to be finished and cleaned and painted. Realise I actually haven't quite finished the sand, so I can do a quick sand of that right now. I'm segueing really badly. Don't care how shit goes. That's alright. Come by. Jesus, that's disgusting. I'll throw this drink out. I don't know what's in it. I'm pretty sure it's not rum. I think some dickhead just mixed a bunch of random shit in a bottle when I took it home after a party. And I've been sitting it on it for up to years, which is yeah. Oh well. Quickly check on the feed. Chat's been quiet. That's okay. I just have to make sure that we are not offline. If we're offline, I'm fucked, and I've been talking to myself for God knows how long. No, we're definitely online. It's interesting that there is a delay of, and the software and all that has to do that, but it's just interesting to see how much of a delay there is. I talk and whatnot, and then I'm on a completely different segue, and then the comments start rolling in. And then you're wondering, oh, why is this fat cunt not responding? And I'm like, oh, I wonder why the chat's not responding. And I suppose it is just fucking streaming life or some shit. All the parts so far. That's a ton of parts. Clean. I will do the bottom half. I'll clean this up first, and then chuck that in the appropriate box. And then I will clean that up, chuck it in the appropriate box, clean that up, and then I will probably call it quits or something, do something, come back in a few hours, see how we are used to you not responding. You snob. Ah, fuck you, Tristan. I love you though. On top of that, because the laptop screen is angled pretty funny, I cannot see the text really good due to screen glare or whatever. Excuses. I know, fuck you. But once I've got the webcam hanging off my lamp, I'll have the laptop up right properly. I could see what I'm doing on the screen. I could see what I'm doing properly, and it just leads to generally a good experience, and should work out pretty good. But I think the 2 and 4 is working out. This is I've done about 4 to 6 streams or something, just experimenting and then looking at my tablet, experimenting. Some of them like lagged like crazy, and some of them would just burn out every 15 seconds because of the wrong settings. I got the right settings last night, and I think I had like one person watching some of them. Got the settings right last night, and got you guys in the fold. So we're just having a look at how the comments going, how it is to respond to comments, and honestly, bullshit aside, thanks for being a part of the experiment, because it just seems to be working out. And once everything that's my imagination is going to how I want this to be set up and how it's going to work and all that, it should be pretty interesting, pretty social, pretty laid back, and definitely a ton of fun. Things like these platforms and whatnot, man, what an opportunity compared to back in the days of MSN and MySpace and chats and all that, where you just sat down and just pumped attention in that, and you didn't really go away. And now you can just sit there and model, and next thing you know, you got like 6 guys sitting there watching, modeling as well. In future, what I'll probably try to do is hook this up to Skype or Google Groups or something, and have a couple of people on, and just have people chatting and fucking around and whatnot. That could be a lot of fun. Could be absolutely awesome and interesting. But interestingly enough, if I get a few more webcams, fuck, I can have like a couple of people over and just put that on. But Skype could actually work quite well. I might look into that, because then I could have a little window with me and a little window with Skype. And when all the other people are talking and whatnot and showing their shit, people can see that. That could be very, very cool. And whoever wants to just jump in and join in can jump in and join in, and just have a group and just, yeah, hang out thing. I will have to experiment and try that out later, but Skype is kind of taxing on computer resources, memory, and all that. And OBS, because I'm using a software called OBS, and it's absolutely taxing the fuck out of the RAM. So going to have to, once I get the Toshiba back, and if the Toshiba can handle all that bullshit, could work out to be pretty interesting. But I might have to look at something else that's not Skype. Skype's just shit. It's a pain in the ass. Like it's vital, it's important, it works, it does what it does, but it's just not super duper reliable. And I suppose when you're going live and streaming and all that, what's this? 6? 6. The fuck 6, man? What's 6? I don't know what 6 is. Confusing me, man. You triggered me. Gunpla TK, you triggered me. 666, Number of the Beast, Iron Maiden. It's a good song, man. 6. I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore. You fucked everything, man. That's right. New conversation, because Gunpla TK fucked us. So there's a theme in the bass. There's bad. I put automotive polyester putty. Polyester putty is pretty much resin based, stinks, it's terrible, it's carcinogenic. And it's a single part resin when you just get rid of all the science and the bullshit out of the room. So the best thing about it is for like a quarter or half a kilo of the stuff is like 10 to 20 bucks. It's really cheap. Where like 20 to 50 grams of the hobby grade shit is about $10. It breaks the bank and you use it up really, 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 really quickly. Rammed it in there, attached beautifully to the resin as well as the primer, and sanding it back. It's going to be nice and flat and sexy, and we're going to hit primer on it tomorrow. And there's not going to be any faults. If it is, it's going to trigger me. I want to be triggered. I like to be triggered. Then paint it and it's done. It's just going to be black. Might chuck a Xeon symbol on it. It's going to win. It's going to win at everything. There's a thing that it can win at, it'll win it. Fucking win at a pie baking competition if it can bake a pie. As in the model, not me. I'm not baking no fucking pie. We're gonna have salmon for dinner, so that'll be alright. Clean. 9:13. Yeah, it's not too bad. I will have to call it quits shortly, and then I'll be back on shortly, and I'll let you guys know on Facebook. Thank you very much for joining me. You've really helped out. If you got any feedback, honest or not honest or trollish, chuck it our way. We can grow and build and do something cool with this thing. It's going to be stellar as fuck. It's going to kick ass. It's going to rule the world, man. It's going to rule the fucking world. I need to work on conversation and more hobby shit, but this is more of just a shit slap around. The idea is I'm just going to get randoms on here that has questions and whatnot and model, and I'll just pull shit out and go like, how do you fucking seam line or panel line or paint or clean a nub or something? And I'll be like, well, cunt, I'm sitting here, I've got the knife, let's do it live right now type thing. So I was muck around with the boys, and this is what we're doing tonight. So thank you very much for doing that. You guys are fucking awesome. Boys, you're best. Going to log off in a second, and I'm going to eat my fucking dinner of salmon. Salmon's pretty fucking sweet. Catch you boys later. And yeah.